Have you ever wondered what it's really like to grow up as an only child? No siblings, no shared bedrooms, no rivalry, no built-in playmates, just you and your thoughts. In today's video, we're diving deep into the psychological world of only children, a world that's often misunderstood, but rich with insight, complexity, and emotional layers. From high self-esteem to hidden loneliness, independence to the deep desire for belonging, we'll explore how being an only child can shape everything, from personality and relationships to career success and emotional resilience. Whether you're an only child, know someone who is, or you're just curious about human behavior, what you're about to hear may surprise you. Let's dive into the 20 defining traits of only children and what they reveal about human nature. 1. Unshakable independence. One of the first things you'll notice about only children: they stand on their own. Growing up without siblings forces a kind of self-reliance early on. When there's no one to brainstorm with, argue with, or follow, they learn to entertain themselves, solve problems solo, and make decisions without needing approval from a sibling crowd. But here's the twist: this powerful independence can sometimes be mistaken for aloofness or emotional distance. It's not that they don't want help, they've just learned not to need it. Key takeaway: this trait becomes a superpower when balanced with knowing when collaboration leads to greater outcomes. 2. Deep bonds with parents. No siblings means full access to parental attention, and that often creates a deep, emotionally intimate connection. These children often develop close-knit, meaningful relationships with their parents, gaining confidence and a solid sense of security in the process. They learn adult cues faster. They speak like adults. They feel seen. But here's the challenge: with that closeness comes pressure, high expectations, constant watchfulness, sometimes even overprotection. It's a delicate dance between nurturing connection and allowing independence to flourish. 3. Mature beyond their years. Ever met a child who felt older, wiser, like they skipped childhood and jumped straight to 25? Chances are they were an only child. Spending most of their time with adults rather than peers often results in advanced verbal skills, mature emotional insights, and an ability to handle adult conversations from a young age. But here's the thing: maturity is a gift, but childhood shouldn't be skipped. They still need space to play, make silly mistakes, and be carefree. 4. Intense pressure to succeed. Imagine being the one child who carries all your parents' hopes, dreams, and expectations. There's no sibling to split the weight. That's what many only children experience. This often leads to high achievement, strong ambition, and laser-sharp focus. But left unchecked, this pressure can become overwhelming. The lesson: love your children for who they are, not just for what they do. Even high achievers need space to breathe. 5. Heightened sensitivity and empathy. Without the teasing and toughening up that comes from siblings, only children often develop a gentler emotional palate. They tend to be more sensitive to criticism and highly empathetic to the feelings of others. Emotional intelligence becomes their quiet strength. But empathy alone isn't enough. They must also develop resilience, the strength to face discomfort without crumbling under it. 6. A real fear of loneliness. Here's the stereotype: the lonely only child. And sometimes, it's not just a myth. Without siblings, many only children experience solitude early. And while solitude can be powerful, it can also feel empty. That's why building strong friendships outside the family becomes essential. Tip for parents: encourage social play early. Let your child experience the joy of belonging outside the home. 7. More resources, more opportunity. Only children are often the sole focus of parental time, money, and energy. More educational support, more extracurricular activities, more investment in their future. It's a privilege, but one that must be handled with gratitude and responsibility. If nurtured correctly, this advantage becomes fuel for greatness. 8. Battling stereotypes. Selfish, spoiled, socially awkward. These tired cliches often follow only children, but they are based on lazy assumptions, not psychology. Yes, only children may be more comfortable alone, but that doesn't mean they lack empathy or social skills. Awareness of these stereotypes empowers only children to rise above them and define themselves on their own terms. 9. Advanced negotiation skills. When there's no sibling to mediate disputes, only children learn one thing early: how to negotiate directly with adults. They learn to reason, to argue logically, to present their needs with confidence. This skill often translates into adult life, where they become persuasive communicators and calm decision-makers. 10. High self-esteem. With no sibling rivalry or constant comparison, only children often develop a stable sense of self. They are praised without competition, encouraged without comparison, seen without judgment. The result? Confidence, competence, inner belief. Just remember, confidence without humility can tip into entitlement. Balance is everything. 11. A strong sense of identity. From a young age, only children are often given the space to explore who they are without external influence. Without a sibling's shadow, they dive deeper into hobbies, passions, and creative pursuits. This often leads to a rich inner world and a solid sense of self. But there's a risk: becoming too inward-focused. Exposure to diverse people and ideas is essential to keep that self-identity flexible and open-minded. 12. A wild imagination. When there's no one to play with, the mind gets to work. Only children often create entire worlds in their imagination: storylines, characters, adventures. This imaginative strength can evolve into creative brilliance in adulthood. Artists, writers, visionaries, creators. It starts with imaginary tea parties and cardboard spaceships. 13. A deep desire for adult approval. Because they grow up around adults, only children often develop a powerful desire to be validated by them. Praise, recognition, approval. This can drive excellence, but it can also become a crutch. True growth begins when they start to pursue goals for their own joy, not just applause. 14. Fiercely independent, yet longing for inclusion. Here's a fascinating contradiction. Only children often pride themselves on being independent, yet deep down, they still long for connection, community, and belonging. That absence of siblings sometimes leaves a quiet ache, a desire to be part of something bigger. Healthy friendships, communities, and creative teams can help fill that space with meaning. 15. Powerful observation and analysis. Growing up in adult spaces, only children often develop razor-sharp observation skills. They listen. They read body language. They pick up on things others miss. This makes them excellent at reading people and situations, but it's important they also engage emotionally, not just analyze from a distance. 16. The value of privacy. Many only children come to love their space. They thrive in solitude. They reflect deeply. They value their time alone. It's one of their greatest strengths, but it can easily become a wall. The key is balance, knowing when to recharge alone and when to let people in. 17. Masters of self-entertainment. When you're used to playing alone, you get creative, fast. Only children become experts at entertaining themselves, whether through books, games, drawing, or deep thought. This is a powerful gift in a world full of distractions, but it must be paired with real-world interaction to develop social fluency. 18. Comfort in adult conversations. Only children often feel more at home in adult conversations than among peers. They use big words, ask thoughtful questions, think critically. But emotional intelligence isn't just knowing what to say. It's also knowing how to connect at different levels. Let them enjoy childhood. Let them be silly. 19. Strong academic potential. Research consistently shows that only children often excel academically. With more parental attention, higher expectations, and fewer distractions, they develop a strong work ethic and focus. But here's the warning: achievement should never define identity. They must be reminded that they are valuable for who they are, not just what they accomplish. 20. Early sense of responsibility. Without siblings to share the chores or care, only children often take on responsibilities early in life. They help with tasks, care for aging parents, learn the value of contribution. This builds resilience. But again, it must be balanced. Childhood should be a time of learning, not just labor. Being an only child isn't better or worse. It's just different and deeply fascinating. These traits, strengths, sensitivities, and silent struggles shape the personality of a person raised alone, but never truly alone. So if you're an only child, honor the journey. If you're raising one, nurture the balance. And if you know one, now you understand them just a little better. Like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the mind. Because understanding psychology isn't just fascinating, it's empowering.